Welcome, Raider Nation, to the Red Raider Coaches Show. I'm your host, Shane Bent, here with Coach Cofer. We're going to discuss last week's game, all the ins and outs. Going to talk about some injuries, talk about this upcoming week with Groves High School. Coach, going to get right into it. First of all, we'll get pay for our sponsors, and folks that help us. New City Church was the church this week.
New City up there did a great job, great food. We appreciate them hosting us and letting us eat up there Friday afternoon during pregame meal. And of course, First Baptist up there feeding us breakfast each and every morning. Those gentlemen that get up and do that for us. And also wanted to throw a shout out to our competition cheerleaders that had first place in their competition at Tifton this past Saturday. Did a great job. Very proud of them also. Also, got softball girls going up to Columbus this week, so we want to wish them good luck.
Yeah, starting be Thursday. The first game's at 2:30, and that'll be brought to you live on BCTV. Go over injuries and all first before we get into anything else. We're just going to be 2 segments today because it'll probably be a little lengthy with some stuff. But Coach, injury-wise, I know Jacob's still a little beat up. Do we have anything major?
Yeah, God bless him. Not anything major, but Jacob tries to help us out as much as he can. Hadn't been able to practice probably. This will be probably going on the 4th week right here. But comes in and tries to help us as much as he can. And wanted to play in the big game with Vidalia. It was basically for a share of the region championship this past Friday night. So we wanted to do that, but he's pretty beat up all over the place, and both shoulders, both knees. We talked about that probably the past couple of weeks, and 100% we're going to keep him out this week. Both of these are important games that we need, but we're just going to keep him out. It's not worth risking him, and I don't care if it's the end of this season or not, trying to get in the playoffs and get a better seed. It's not worth risking him, and right. And Jacob may have a future in college football also. Don't want to risk that. So, hey, we appreciate him helping us out. Maybe we'll get him back the last game of the season against MCA, and especially for the playoffs. So we'll see, but we'll just try to keep him rested and as healthy as we can. Payson's got a little messed up ankle. Hopefully he'll be able to go Friday. He was dressed out practicing this morning. Even ran, told him not to, and he kept running on it anyway. I think he'll be fine by Friday. May have to keep him out and just let him play defense. I'm not for sure on that, but doing that. Drell's basically the same way. Drell looked full speed today, but really wasn't. He tweaked his ankle probably on second series of the ball game and kept going. And that adrenaline will keep you going for a long time until the game ends and you get home. And so appreciate those two guys. Both of those injuries happened in the first half, and those guys kept going for us. So appreciate them, and hope they get better by Friday.
Yeah, good thing too. Positive Friday night was a good crowd over there from Bacon County at the game. Students, adults, all alike was good, and they were loud Friday night.
They were very supportive.
That in a minute. But,
right.
Leading up to Friday night, normal week. I know Vidalia is always built up, and that's. It was for a spot with first place in the region at the time. Was there any more hype this week? The boys have it in their heads. I mean, I know it's hard to find a teenager and where they are with their mind right now. But.
Right. It's a little bit different having practices in the morning. It's kind of mellow, just trying to wake everybody up, coaches too. Once we get out there, we're good. We probably need to run before practice and get them loose. And it's been chilly the past couple of weeks in the mornings, and definitely football weather, but not any different then. We talked about it. We watched film. We were watching film today. We'll watch it every day this week with the kids. We didn't even work out. We ran and then came in here to get that done after practice. Had a big talk this morning before practice, just heart-to-heart stuff. Nothing bad or anything like that. Just talking about Friday and this past Friday and what we need out of the next couple of weeks. But just this one Friday. This coming Friday with Groves in Savannah, and just going after that one and taking care of business. So a good day today. It was a shorter practice today, but we ran everything faster than usual and just rolled plays back and forth and had some good licks passed today, but definitely a good morning today. So not anything different right there. I guess the morning practices, it's not as much talk. But when we get together and we're in the afternoons and pregame, it gets pretty hyped up. Yeah, it does.
All right, we normally going to take a break here, but I want to skip right over to it. The pink elephant in the room. Everybody wants to know what happened Friday night
Right.
and all the circumstances with that. And I want you to specifically talk about the ejection, what happened there, what led up to that, and then a few other questions as far as Vidaeus coach and some of the things that happened there. But first, I want you to get your opportunity to get it out and
Right.
and tell the truth and what really happened.
Right. Well, I can't go into specifics about officials. I don't want to say anything negative about them. Officials are going to be officials, coaches are going to be coaches, and sometimes we're not going to agree. I definitely had an argument with one of the calls that they made on the first down. It was something that bothered me. Shane was, Saturday I'm watching some college football, kind of meditating basically over what had happened the previous night and just trying to relax a little bit. Didn't talk to a whole lot of people, but I get something sent to me off of this Georgia High School varsity sports event that somebody from Vidaeus had said that I referred to the white hat, who is the head official, the referee, saying a real bad word to him. And I can assure you that never happened. And I'll tell you the words that I said. But when I went into the end zone at halftime to talk to the head official, that I called him a nasty word. And that kind of hurts my feelings just a little bit, just because it's my name that's being smeared, and we don't let our players conduct themselves in that manner. We're not going to do that either. I'm especially not going to do it. I get agitated sometimes. Especially don't want our kids being done wrong, or our coaches being done wrong, or our community being done wrong. And I felt like we weren't getting a fair shake at that point on a certain call. But that was untrue. This is what happened. I thought they had a first down. It's early in the first. I say it's early in the first quarter, toward the end of the first quarter, and I thought they had the first down outright. They go to measure it, and there's space between the stick for the first down and the football, so that made it fourth down. And I turned around and I said, they're short, talking to our kids and our coaches, and I looked back out there, and that pole from the chain gang got moved back. And I turned around and I said, did y'all see that? And everybody said, yeah. And the head official came and marked the first down. And we had some people, like I said, I can't say anything bad about the officials on here. So I'm trying to weasel my way around this. I tried to express myself. Thank you. Tried to express myself a little bit. I raised my voice. I certainly did. And one of my favorite words, and I hope it don't offend people watching this or any of our fans, but piss is one of my favorite words to say. And I just made a comment when it went from first quarter to second quarter, still talking to the official behind me, but had my back turned. I was just making a comment, and I said, that ain't worth a piss. And I turned back around, and he threw the flag on me. It was unsportsmanlike. So, needless to say, I kind of lost my cool a little bit, and I go marching down the field to find out why I got the flag thrown on me. I didn't cuss. Dr. Gravitt, our principal, asked the official and makes a comment and says, what did my head coach say? And the official said he was cussing. He said, what cuss word did I say? And he said, coach, sir, he said, piss on it. Excuse me, it ain't worth a piss. And so I didn't know that until halftime. And I thought, well, I must have said something bad to aggravate the official. Tried to go talk to the head official. Head official told me to calm down. He wasn't talking to me. I had already wasted the time out to go talk to him. He wouldn't talk to me at that moment. We had another couple things happen on the field. Won't go into that. Halftime, I see the Vidaeus head coach talking to the white hat, the referee, the head official. And I thought, well, I'll just go get my 2 cents in worth. I want to find out. I'm cool right now. Everything's calmed down. Walk up to him. And evidently the Vidaeus coach had said something to him to aggravate him too. And I said, Mr. Official, can I talk to you? And no lie, he turns around, had Dr. Gravitt, my principal, right beside me, had our offense coordinator, the big bald guy that you see on the sideline, Mr. Ryan Kiner, right beside me. And he turns around agitated and points his finger at my face and says, "Coach, you got 10 seconds. And I thought I did well, and I said, on the first down, I started explaining to him about the pole being moved back, the stick, for the yardstick for 10 yards. He turns around and starts walking off from me, basically just turned his back on me again. So I turned to walk away, and I said, well, that ain't worth the piss either. And he turns around agitated one more time and is acting like he's coming through a police officer that is escorting him into the building right there, and said, how about this, Coach, you're ejected. And something like he had something personal against me. And I don't know what it is, but, I felt like I let the boys down and the coaches down. I probably shouldn't have gone over there and said anything to the official. It wasn't going to change anything. But I do want everybody to understand that I did not cuss an official. It did not happen. I had my principal right there that can verify everything. I did say it ain't worth the piss twice. One time to get the flag, and one time there at halftime. But I didn't do anything to try to embarrass our community or our school or our kids and coaches and administration. So, I worried about that all weekend. I definitely didn't want to do that, but I do feel like I left our kids hanging, and then that got me out of the game, the rest of the game, so I couldn't go back and coach in the second half. I thought the coaches did a great job in the second half. I'm out the next game this coming Friday at Groves. Can't even make an appearance at the stadium. Can't be on the headphones. Can't be in the stands hiding out. Can't do any of that. I end up getting our school in trouble even more. So other coaches will have to do that. We just have to prepare our kids very well this week. At the end of the game, Vidalia coach chose not to shake hands. I'm up in a skybox that Vidalia put us up in to get us away from the field. They didn't have to do that. They did that. I sat with my principal up there, just away from everything, and I was supposed to be away from the game. They had no communication whatsoever. And I noticed them coming off the field, and our fans are visibly upset with the sportsmanship type thing. And I'm not going, and I understand what it looks like. My feelings were watching that happen. He's worried that something's going to happen, after the game, shaking hands, that words are going to be expressed, anything like that. And we're both hopefully going into the playoffs right there, and we don't need to lose anybody from something just stupid. Not calling anybody stupid, just saying, for a stupid reason, and somebody saying, a kid saying something or something like that, and it just getting out of hand. He thought the best thing to do was take his kids right there. He did come across the field to shake hands. He's just looking out for his kids. And Coach Langford sent ours to the dressing room as well, so there was no kind of confrontation. It did look bad. I actually thought about doing that myself against Jeff Davis, to tell you the truth. I thought something might break out. I didn't want to lose any kids to an ejection or something like that because one of their kids said something to us or we said something to them. So sometimes that'll happen. I don't think most of the coaches in the state of Georgia or anywhere for that matter would do anything unsportsmanlike like that. I know, like I said, I know the way it looked. He did call me. My coach did call me Saturday morning and said, Coach, I didn't get to see you after the game. I did want to make this. He said I kind of beat it around a little bit and make sure that I did the right thing. He said, I still don't know if I did. He said, I was just trying to watch after our kids and make sure that nothing happened. And I said, Coach, I understand. So, he didn't have to do that. I thought that was pretty classy on his part to call, and he didn't have to call. I think I kind of understood. So, I think it was just agitation from our fans a little bit from what happened with some of the calls and stuff like that. But like I said, I can't go into details with those officials, and sometimes that happens. Nothing bad towards them. I just think it probably could have been handled a little bit differently. I have been known to show some aggression sometimes too, but that night I didn't. I really felt like I got kicked out for no reason. I felt like I got a flag against our kids for no reason, but sometimes that's the way it goes. So
what's crazy to me is if it had been baseball, it's not nothing said about a baseball coach getting thrown out much anymore, but a football coach does, and it's it's the end of the world.
Yeah, it is.
But and just to me, we talked about it earlier. Bobby Cox was the most thrown out manager in baseball, and he sometimes would do it, get his players,
Right.
in a. At the time, I kind of thought that's what you were doing, but it did take that impact, because I saw the boys, it just like they took it to another level after that happened, and that just goes through that whole family thing that you preach, and they were mad because their coach, their person, had been slighted, so they were behind you. And I have to say, sitting in the bleachers, the fans were 100% behind what was going on, and behind you, and so everybody was kind of confused at what was going on at the time, but.
I'd like to take this time. I had a lot of parents and just fans don't even have a son playing. We came out of that skybox and we went out the back door right there, and had a lot of moms, dads say something to me. Had two guys, like I said, they're just football lovers that made comments that were very positive and standing behind us, standing behind me, and I appreciate that very much. That's kind of, it's not kind of what I like. It's what I love about small town football on Friday nights, and just the support. And you don't see that a lot in some places. And kind of got me a little emotional, to tell you the truth, coming around there and seeing all those people just very supportive, and we got beat, but hopefully you didn't see our kids quit. They have a heart, and I appreciate the kids doing that. If one of our family members hurts, we all hurt, and I guess they felt that too, and I appreciate them, and I know some of them watch this too, but I appreciate them doing that too. Hits me right here, and I do appreciate all that, but appreciate the support. Got a lot of kidding around at school today about certain things that I said. It might be written on my tombstone one day. Ken Cofer, here lies Ken Cofer, ain't worth a piss. But I do appreciate the support, and I just wanted to let everybody know that I did not cuss at an official. That did not happen, and I hate the person from Vidalia that made that comment to satisfy their own. He said he was right there when it was said. It was not said, and I have two people prove it.
Right. Several people on that sideline have said that. So I encourage you, all this social media, you've heard the truth right here, and if you see it, correct it. Don't let it get out there. Don't start other rumors. This is the facts. This is what actually happened. So, Coach, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll go over the game as far as what actually happened on the field with the boys, and then go over Groves real quick and wrap it up. So we want to thank Bennett & Johnson, again, one of our insurance companies here in Alma that helped sponsor this and make this possible, and Miles Auto Sales. And make a quick shout out for Subway again. They help us out on Friday night. Them and Dairy Queen both, for these local businesses. I've asked you to do your business as much as you can here and support these businesses that support us. We'll be right back after this quick break. All right, welcome back. We're going to break down what actually happened on the field now. Vidalia 428 yards, Bacon County 325. It was a lot closer game than the score. showed on the field. I know you hate that moral victory and all those other crap, but take away a fumble and a kickoff return, a couple other things, which all counts, I know. But to me, in the second half, they had no answer for our offense.
Yeah.
And I listened to him on the way back. He made a statement that they had taken their starters out and they had a lot of subs in there, but they didn't do that.
It's on film.
Yeah, it's the facts are on the film, just like this. Break us down a little bit.
Yeah, well, I just happened to be watching a little pro football. Don't really get into it. And somebody made a comment yesterday about there are no moral victories in football, and I thought, amen, bro, you are correct.
That ain't worth a piss, Coach. I believe.
We're gonna get in trouble for that. No, just first play, we wanted the football, and most teams are gonna get us the football. They want it in the second half. We want to start out fast. I've said that once or twice before. We want as many offensive plays as we can get. We want the ball as long as we can get it. So why not take it first? Don't let somebody else score on you first. So we took it. Tron breaks a 20-yard run, starting off a game right. Had great blocks out of Darrell Green, Trevor Williams on that side, and Dalton Allman had a great crack right there. Jake Carver led up in there also and got him down the sideline. Came by this close from actually breaking it. The stud linebacker that they got. He's just a young pup too, but he's pretty dang good. Made a great play down there, hustling down the field to stop him. But next play, fumble. Aubrey gets hit on an option play. Was a give. Aubrey made a mistake. We all make mistakes, but even that, he got hit right when he's pulling the ball, and they scoop and score. And second play of the ball game is 7-0 after a positive play. They get the ball back. I think we drive it maybe. I don't even know how long we drove it. It wasn't long. They get the ball back, drive it, and score. It's 14-0. We get the ball off a bad punt snap and kick, stick it in, I think, 2 plays later, 14-7. Got momentum back. Think we're doing good, and I'll be danged if we kick it to the wrong man, and then we didn't cover the correct way, and they run back to kickoff. Been saying, got Coach Matt Wilson, Coach Thad Williams last Sunday saying, you can't kick it to number 6, can't kick it to number 6. And I'll be danged if the ball don't go to number 6. That's not where we wanted to kick the ball, but as you know, sometimes, our life depends on how a 16-year-old kid does it one night. Yeah. That's our livelihood. And I knew that when I got into this, and I made mistakes too. So I can't sit there and blame a kid for trying and then he makes a mistake. But we should have covered even though. Right. So it's not Glenn Dobbin's fault. We should have covered, and we didn't get that done. So it's everybody on that kickoff team has got to take that responsibility for letting that happen. And it just kind of blew up from there. I thought we moved the ball well the whole first half, and then we just we'd have a drop or we'd have a penalty, and I don't think we had that many penalties, to tell you the truth, but it just seemed to come in inopportune times. And I think it gets to 42-7, and thinking the whole time. And this is what I said this morning to our kids. I said, not one time when I was on the field or when I was out in the second half did I think that you didn't have the swagger to score on offense. I thought our kids were positive the whole time offensively and thought that they could score. And when you do that against the number 2 team in the state in AA, that beat Benedictine like that, and you're moving the ball on them, especially passing it and throwing it to a lot of different receivers and stuff like that, playing 2 different quarterbacks, I thought that was a positive. I sat up there and watched it, and I couldn't have any communication in the second half. I was totally away from the game, completely away from the game in the second half. And just very proud of our players for continuing and having confidence offensively to do that. We stunk it up a little bit defensively right there, but we give up a kick return and we give up a fumble return, and the score could be 42-27. Of course, they probably could have stuck another 1 or 2 in also. We just didn't have an answer for them. Defensively right there. But we can't give up special team scores or turnover scores. We hadn't been turning the ball over in the previous 3 wins, and we get to Vidalia and we turn it over twice, and they lead to scores. One of them was on me. I got the penalty for saying what I said. march them up 15 more yards. They scored off of that too. So you can chalk one up. So basically that's another turnover that you can chalk up to me. But second half, I thought our kids reacted well, took what they gave us right there. Baidu is a lot like Benedictine, and they're going to play off of you defensively and wait for you to make a mistake. And I think that's pretty smart, actually. And most high school football coaches, offensive coordinators don't have the patience enough to just pick you all the way down the field, 70, 80 yards. So, I thought our kids did a great job. Our coaches did a great job in the second half. And, I was so confident. It was a running clock against Benedictine. Things weren't going right. We already had beat up people. We had about 5 or 6 starters out against Benedictine. It was a running clock. I told them when it was 42-7, I said, this ain't going to be no running clock in the second half. We're going to score. We're going to come back from this, and we're going to do well. And we did. We scored right before the halftime, right there, marched it right down, hit some big passes, nice throws from Aubrey, nice catches from all the receivers right there. Payson Sams makes a great catch and gets upfield. And then we throw one to Big Man. The Big Man's got 3 kids on him. I didn't think he was going to get it. We were fixing to clock it again, and he got in the end zone. So I thought that was huge. Those kids didn't have to do that and fought right before halftime to get that other score. So ended up 56-27 right there. Nothing necessarily major in the second half. Just kind of trading scores right there. I think it ended up being 14-14. But say what you want to. I'm sitting there watching on film. Like I said, I didn't have any kind of communication, and my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, being from that far of a distance trying to look at a football field. But I saw starters out there, and film verifies it too. Did they have some second teamers in there too? Yeah, but they were doing that the whole game too. So did we. So I'm proud of our guys. We can definitely build off of it, but we got to get this. We got to get this Groves game this Friday. It's got to be taken care of. I'll be probably the only one in Alma, Georgia, Friday night. I'll be right here in my office watching the game online. Everybody's going to be in Columbus with our girls softball team, or everybody will be in Savannah right there watching the football team. And my daughters are doing some Halloween parties on Friday where they are, and so I'll be just me by myself. I need a little meditation time right there. I'm sure it'll be pretty tough, and I'll want to punch the screen right there a couple of times, just to be honest, because I can't have contact with anybody. But we're going to do this the way it's supposed to be done. We're going to go by Georgia high school guidelines and go by the rules and do it the right way. So, I can't have any. I can't do anything with them Friday except just wave at them as they drive off in the bus. But
up until Friday, though, you can get them ready. In Groves, defensively, they don't make a lot of changes watching them on film.
No, and that's what we need to do. And I don't care if they're watching this or not. We're going to try to run as many plays at them as we can. They got a lot of kids going both ways. Good tailback, good quarterback. Got a good lineman, number 70. They all play on defense too. So we're going to run as many plays. So when you see us rolling, you'll see Coach Conard and all our coaches over there rolling the same play. Now, we can do about 3 things off that one play. So sometimes it'll be Aubrey or Drell handing it off, keeping it, or throwing it on one play. So it may look like the same play coming again, and it could be. But we want to hit them in the mouth. We want to drive them down the field and run as many plays as we can. We feel like if we can do that, we'll be successful. We'll stop on defense and make good plays. But offensively, we feel confident that we can do that. I just hate that I can't, any coach or kid feels like, if he's got any confidence at all, I can help if I'm there. And when you can't, I know how these players are right now. When you can't do your part, it tears Jacob Carver up, Trent Hardy up, because they're not going to be able to help us. I'm right along in that same boat with them. So, we'll make do. We'll try to do the best we can. Like I said, it'll be tough. I didn't want to talk to anybody this past Saturday. Didn't answer any phone calls except from one of the coaches. Friday night, my phone will basically be off, and I'll be watching that game right here in my office by myself. I can't watch it with anybody else. Nobody else will be here with me, so please don't beat on the door. Try to get in here with me, but definitely my mind and heart will be with the kids and the coaches going on that trip. All
right, Coach. Well, I think that about wraps it up unless you know of anything else that that you want to talk about. We're looking forward to Friday night. Again, this is another big game for Bacon County. If we win, that guarantees us spots in the playoff, and then we can win the next week. We're going to at least take a 3 out of this. So a lot of big games coming up. We need that support like we had Friday night, being loud in the stands. I know the players are affected by it. It's good to see. So I know it's a long drive to Savannah, but it'll be well worth it because I think your boys are ready to play some football, and they want to take up for their coach and show them what they can do. So, and that's also just a side note, Coach, that you've got the staff behind that you feel comfortable enough that they can go down there and do what you need them to do for you and do it. So that's just goes to show what kind of staff we do have. So good luck, Coach Friday.
Thank you.
This community is 100% behind you and these boys and these other coaches, and we're proud to be a Raider. Good luck to the girls this Thursday, starting 2:30. Be sure to tune in at BCTV, and they will be there playing live in Columbus. So till next week, we will thank Bennett Johnson, Miles Auto, Subway, and Dairy Queen.
Hey, Virginia, for a couple afternoons next week. Congratulations to the